What's going on? It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are back with another episode of Oops,
Industries wanted.
Industry's Most Wanted. And look who I got tonight, the beautiful Witch Cabin. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy to be with you on the on this lovely night.
I know you got a beautiful background. You're in New York right now.
Yes, I am, and New York's New Yorkin, as you can see,
Yes,
sunsets and buildings.
it looks beautiful. Absolutely. You're out there visiting right now?
I've been here for a couple months, visiting
Okay.
slash living both.
Listen. That's nice to have that option to visit for extended periods of time. So that is
Yeah,
amazing. Absolutely. So we're gonna dive in. I had you on the hype recently, but we of course we wanted to get you on this platform. Shout out to my girl Jules.
yeah.
Definitely. So you're a producer, a writer, a musician. You do so many different things. Outside of that, give us a brief introduction.
Okay, hi. I'm Tracy. Witch Cabin is my solo artist name. So that's what I go by. I do all of those things, produce, write, sing, and Witch Cabin is my newest music venture, and it's the one that's just all me and some helpful friends along the way, but mostly me.
I love it. I love it. Most definitely. So tell everybody a little bit about where you actually grew up. What was the upbringing like? Where did you grow up? Because I know you're in the beautiful New York right now, but tell us about your upbringing.
Well, I was actually born here in New York, and in Canarsie. I'm a pizza bagel, Italian dad, Jewish mom. But we moved to California as people in New York with a dream did back then. And so I haven't lived here since I was a little kid, but it still feels like home. And I have a lot of friends here. My music's here. But I grew up in San Francisco in the Western Addition, if anyone knows the city. And was kind of a latchkey kid running around San Francisco when I was little.
That is awesome. You literally were born on one side of the United States and grew up on the other.
Yeah, and I think I love New York so much too, not just because I was born here, but also because it feels like San Francisco did back then when it was a crustier pre-tech city.
That
Like it
is
was,
amazing.
yeah.
Well, what would you say is the biggest difference between living in the two cities, though?
Well, now I live in LA. It's been a long time since San Francisco. I left when it started to get tech. I go there now and I feel like it's a Google campus and a beautiful, beautiful Google campus. um, so I've been in LA all this for a long time now. And what's different between LA and New York? I don't know. Half of it feels like it's a connected city, and then half of it feels worlds apart. I live for school, stoop culture and people out and like talking to each other and stuff's going on and energy's everywhere and creatively, musically for me, that that feels very energizing. I know it can be loud and you need nature and all that, but it also is where I feel like most creatively myself. And a lot of my music people and stuff are out here.
I love it. That is really dope. So, how has Witch Cabin, the artist, evolved since you first created and became Witch Cabin?
Oh, well, Witch Cabin is fairly new. I'm a post, well, not even post. I was a dance music club kid, hip hop. I loved, yeah, I just loved like club culture and stuff when I was younger. And I first started singing over DJs at like jungle nights and house nights or singing on hip hop records and stuff like that. So my first um, musical um, explorations were in San Francisco when I was a little tiny baby, going to clubs and coming to New York to go to clubs. So I kind of did all these other things, and I'm kind of coming back to that part of me. Not that I'm making club bangers, but I'm definitely influenced by all of those genres still, and the way that they kind of end up in pop music. So so yeah, it's almost a return to myself after years of doing bands and all kinds of other things and just going, the club kid is back. She's back.
Right. It's almost like you somewhat reinvented yourself, but brought yourself back to like what feels like at home for you, if that makes sense.
Yes, yeah, in a way, yeah.
I love it. That is really dope. So, what type of music are you producing? Like, what type of genres are you producing for other artists as well?
Not right now. It's something I'm curious about. I don't know much. I don't really like write for anyone else. It's so personal, so I can't imagine writing songs for other people, but maybe producing would be fun or a nightmare depending. So, well, it might be something to explore at some point, or maybe even just producing collaborations I could see doing for sure. Um, the kind of music, I guess it's always a debate of genre. Depending who I'm talking to, it's been called everything from R&B to, I don't know, pop to different things, and I just kind of feel like it just is what comes out of me, so it's hard to genre it. So I think we just say pop, underground pop.
I love though that you don't box yourself in. I feel like that's so important. You really kind of make your own sound, your own genre. You're not boxing yourself in. That way, you can take your music here, you can take it there, and it's going to work. And I love that for you.
Well, thank you. I'm
You're
trying to
welcome.
squeeze in as many places as they'll have me.
Most definitely. When did you like realize that actually producing was just as important as getting out there performing? Because I feel like the production is really what catches people's attention at first when that beat comes on.
Well, and it's I'm starting to understand the science of that. I've been in New York working with an Ableton school here, 343 Labs. Shout out, love you guys. And I'm learning more of the interworkings of how a song hits your brain and how to make it hit your brain. I've always written from a singer standpoint and demoed, so I know how to use the programs at like a base level, Pro Tools, Ableton, all that stuff. I've always used them, but to write demos. And more, I realized my demos were having more than just more than just demos were happening, and yet I didn't know what I was doing. So over the last year and a half, I've really put a lot of energy into learning proper production, and I think I'm like halfway there right now. So I'm gonna keep going. But man, like this summer has just been a big up as far as learning production. Um, how to create and synthesize sound, but also how to make songs that have these moments that make it pop and make it exciting. And that I really am enjoying that part of it.
Absolutely. I feel like with you doing that, you can create your own sound.
Mhm.
You don't have to, not to say other producers couldn't get the sound that you're going for, but who better to get it exactly the way you want it than you?
Right. If you trust yourself, and I think I used to think I had to hand it over to someone to make it official. Now it's real because someone, can stamp it and say, I do like other people's input because I think that collaborative effort is always great. And I'm not quite there yet. I do have 20% at the top, 30% at the top that I need to hand it over to a producer right now still and be like, okay, what do we need? What are we missing? What do we need to get the mix right, etc. So I'm inching my way up there, but I have some amazing people that I talk for that right now.
Absolutely. Are you also tapping in on the engineering side of it? Because I heard you say you work with Pro Tools a little bit. Do you know how to do the mix and master? Is that something that you're tapping into?
Well, I didn't even expect it, but they started teaching us at 343 Labs. But I think mostly for me, I'm never gonna probably mix and master it. It's just a whole other thing that I'm fine trusting to other people. But their point was like, you don't have to become a mixing and mastering engineer, but knowing the basics of it is gonna make you a better songwriter in electronic music production because you're starting with the um, right different what's it called frequencies. So
Okay.
you're making sure that you're getting like the bass is separate from the synths that are all not toppling each other, and how to sort of pick things that already are complementary in like a frequency from a frequency standpoint. So it's just kind of a different way of looking at what you're picking sound wise and what you're building.
That is awesome. I feel like that type of lingo will go over some people's head. They'll be like, "What?"
You know what bass is, all of you. You love bass. It's the thing where you stand next to the speaker and it makes your belly kind of rumble, and then you know what mid is because that's what makes you dance. So
Yes. Awesome, awesome. Real quick, shout out to everybody checked in. We are right now live streaming on 2 Facebook pages, Twitch and YouTube. Shout out to my homie BK Just. He's from Brooklyn. He's
what's
checked in.
up?
What up? He's over on Facebook right now tuned in. So yeah, definitely. She's New York as well. She is. What part of New York are you in right now?
Right now I'm in Greenpoint.
Okay, okay, awesome. Yeah, we see the beautiful skyline in the background.
I know Greenpoint is like a little fancy. Um, but I mean, I just kind of stay a lot of places right now. I was just in Bed-Stuy. I love that neighborhood. I don't know, I love a lot of different parts of, I live right now moving around a lot and just staying in
Yeah.
different places. Yeah.
A lot to see, definitely. So you had the opportunity to attend the Pete Tong DJ Academy. Tell us how that really changed your approach to music.
Well, you know, how do I put this? It's a funny story. And I actually did an Instagram post about it, but I was, doing some dating and figuring out how, the record is a lot about the chaos of modern connection and how hard people are making it for themselves and the craziness of it because I was off the market for a long time. So anyway, We Want Connection kind of came out of that. But I got really frustrated with the dating situation and I had been on the apps. And I was like, you know what? This is taking my energy. It is distracting. It is not what I need to be putting my energy into. And I saw the Pete Tong DJ Academy. So I did a post where like I deleted all my apps and I had like cancel receipts and was like, okay, if you want to write to me in emojis, you've got 7 more days to do it. And I'm reallocating my resources to growing as an artist. And so I like I was like we're going from apps to online production school, and that I just switched my energy.
Yes. Listen, I couldn't I've never tapped into that world of the online dating, and I can only but I've heard some beautiful success stories, like on social media and stuff, people will say they met their life partner there, but I would imagine you gotta go through a lot of different shuffles of people to find that person. It's probably like you would have to have a lot of time on your hands, I would suppose.
Well, I'm gonna stay mum on it, but I, I'm having a better luck at the moment.
Yeah. See, that's all that matters.
Having a sweet person in my life, but that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, and listen,
Um,
absolutely, you gotta be mindful of what your personal business you put out there.
yeah, but at the time I was like, you know what, boys, done. Music production happening. The end.
Right, right, because if you're trying to balance just getting into something new, like on the production side, plus a new relationship, it can be a little difficult because you need to dedicate a lot of time to one or the other. It can be difficult to make that split for sure.
Especially when people are acting crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
girl, yes.
like, whoa, yeah. Anyway,
Are
anyway,
you doing music full time now?
no, yes. At this moment, I also do. I owned a catering company with my sister for 10 years. That was sort of I had taken a hiatus from music, and I built that, and I feel like it almost made me a lot more confident coming back into music. I thought I was done. I'm so not. I'm just getting started again. But I think doing something and finding success in a creative space besides music is helping me come back with uh, a different brain. Um, but I quit. I left my company in June to go freelance, and so I'm also doing freelance food design so that I could have more time for music.
That is awesome. So for anybody who is not familiar with what food design is, talk to us about it.
It sure sounds like a well, yeah. Free.
We all love food.
We love food, and I was a chef for a really long time, and I did catering menus and high end whatever, but it started becoming more and more like experiential branded stuff that I was getting into because it's always custom, it's one off, I did, you know, a Puma branded tiramisu for a table for Puma, and like, you know, all kind like branded butter sculptures, things that are a lot more creative and custom one-off. And when I left my company, I'm now just focusing on those jobs. So if it's like for a brand, or even if it's something personal, but people want something, like someone just asked about a surrealist installation for an event, and things like that are kind of where I am probably I'm just gonna focus my food energy there.
Understood. BK said, the thing I run across is when artists can't separate themselves from being an artist while engineering. And that's a valid point because I feel like you do need to have a separation there. Like, okay, I'm in artist mode or I'm in producer mode. Is that easy for you to separate the two?
Well, I don't separate it. That's why I hand over for mixing and mastering. I'm kind of like, okay, I need the expert here. And I do think the more I know about it, the more I can prepare for them. But I'm mostly in artist mode when I'm writing and producing, because I'm writing songs to sing to. And even, you know, at first, at the beginning of the course that I just did, I kept saying, I'm getting schooled by this 17-year-old. There's a 17-year-old in my class. It's like a whiz making like techno, you know, and he's crazy, you know, he's just so fast. I've written like a synth part I'm not sure if I like, and he's written 5 songs, you know, and I realized I'm writing to sing. I'm writing to write songs, and I love dance music. That's not what I'm doing. And it's you can be experimental and all that, but at some point you're creating something that has to become a song, and it has to be in a key that you can sing to, and it has to have all these things that a dance track doesn't. So I've kind of gotten easier on myself about like, if I do 2 songs a month or 1 song a month, that's a lot for what I have to put into a song, from lyrics to vocals to, you know. So I am kind of in artist mode for most of it.
You're absolutely right because you don't never want to rush the process. You want to trust the process. And I also feel like everybody's journey is different. There are some artists out here who are releasing 2 or 3 songs a month. And if that what's work for them, great. If it takes you 3, 4, 5 months to release a song, then that's fine too. Everybody's
Mm.
journey is different.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I respect that too. And like with hip hop and stuff and beats, I think there are certain styles that it's easier to knock it out, you know, and if I got to that place, I would be absolutely thrilled. But right now, it's like it's such a process. But
Yeah.
I really love the process, and hopefully, the more I learn, the faster I'll get at all the technical stuff. So it's not holding me up, basically.
I feel like that's one of the most important things, something you just said, you love the process. I feel like if you ever fall out of love with the process, you might as well just step away because you're not going to enjoy doing it anymore.
Yeah. And when I did step away, I was like, look, we had all these almost, my bandmate and I at the time, you know, we were kind of like a synth duo, and we almost signed a rebel. We almost did. We almost this, almost that. And I was like, what we're doing actually is sitting in a room, a dark practice space, calling tech support for the millionth time. And you know, I'm like, we need to succeed at something else. Like I need to feel the success of my second or third dream, and not be flailing at the thing I love so much. Because you used to think if you loosen your grip on music, it will go away, and you didn't care enough, and you hold it tightly, and it came back to me all on its own because I did other artistic endeavors. And even I made a person. I have a son, and he's 11 now, and I'm trying to make him be my bandmate by the time he's 13. I made him go to the music school with me for a couple weeks. But you know, so I think when you loosen your grip, it's probably true for everything in life, but you loosen your grip a little, and then it finds you in a softer way.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to your food design and your music creation, do both of them tap into like the same creative side of you?
100%. Yeah. And even like the pitch decks, they're visuals. There's a lot of graphic design and stuff I even have to do for my music. You know, I just like the colors and the feel and the look of things, like how you present and all that. I love it. It is kind of the same to me.
That is really cool. I love that. I love that. Who, if you can speak on it, who are a couple of companies that you either have or maybe working with when it comes to food design?
Oh, well, my catering company and my sister's still in LA running it is called Blood, Sweat, and Butter.
Oh, I
And
love that.
and now I'm TM Culinary Design. You can look me up. Um, I'm just freelance, but we worked with all kinds of companies: Puma, Jacquemus, Nike, Skims. Well, I mean, I could go on and on. We had a really great thing going, and I'm starting to work more. I'm in New York. I'm pitching for some stuff here too now. So I was the other day I was saying I'm going to be more I meant to say bi-coastal, but I said bi-postal by accident. And I thought, that is exactly what I am. I should have called my band bi-postal. But yeah, I'm going bi-postal work and music wise.
Yeah. BK has a question for you. I love when he chimes in because he always gets involved in the interviews. He said,
I
"What do
love
you?"
it.
Yeah, what do you think about the state of music and how artists lose out on streaming? That's a big topic because these streaming platforms are barely paying, and you guys put a lot of money and time into music. How do you feel about that?
Angry and disgusted, like you probably do. And then the whole AI ridiculousness. I can't believe that we have to debate. Why is this even a conversation that's on the table? I am sorry, SZA, I'm with you. Diplo, stop it. Like, what are you doing? And the idea that we're trying to be like, well, it's similar. No, like you can't tell a robot to make a song for you and then say it's yours. And to me, it's like what you said with why do it if you don't love it? Art is not a cash cow. I guess it is for a few people that are doing AI that are named rhymes with Imboland and FIFO, but for the rest of us, it's just trash. It's like they're just trying to print money. Sorry about the sirens.
That's okay.
New York is New Yorking out here, guys.
No, it's perfectly fine, but you're right, though, it is to me, it's like a punch in the gut or a slap in the face when these AI artists come out and really the human is not doing anything. They run it through an AI program to write the song for them, to perform the song with them for them, and but one thing I can say, though, is a lot of these digital streaming platforms, they're now removing all AI generated music, and thank God because it's not fair that they're getting paid out thousands of dollars when you got artists like yourself and BK who are human beings, like it's very frustrating.
And I mean, the thing is, there's two sides to it. One is the getting paid and AI taking revenue stream, but the other is art. We do this because art matters, and we do art matters because it's humans sharing experience with other humans in a way, in a language that they have developed. And to skip that whole thing and have unhuman art, it's literally like it's an oxymoron. There's no such thing. It's like there's no AI art.
I agree with you because when I listen to music, I listen because of the human element. I want to feel the emotion of the human being who wrote that song and performed that song. And with AI, and I was having this conversation with somebody a couple nights ago. I'm like, I now have gotten pretty good at picking out what's an AI song and what's not because the AI songs, they all sound alike to me now.
And
Like
it's gonna once it learns it all, it's gonna be training on itself. And if we let it happen 30 years from now, all art is just gonna be regurgitated like feedback loop. You know,
yes.
there's nothing new anymore if it just keeps feeding on itself.
I feel like they need to set rules behind that because, of course, people like us who are against AI generated music, but there's still going to be people who do it. So if these platforms are going to let it slide, they need to have their own category. You need to be listed in an AI category, not putting them in the mix of um like the Billboard charts with the other artists. They need to have their own category, separate them because they're not human.
And okay, what are we gonna do? Like a genre that's AI genre, and a Grammy for it that's like best prompter. I mean, like, what? What is the meaning? What is the meaning?
Yes, definitely. BK said, "I don't know, but you look like you're in the area where I shot my Fafo video." What BK, where did you shoot? We obviously don't want to give out her exact location. You said you're in Green what?
Greenpoint.
Greenpoint. Were you in Greenpoint, BK? That is dope. Yeah, but I just feel like it totally, but I'm glad to see that now even YouTube is cracking down on it. Like anything that's like overly AI generated, where they're, rather than being a human being, they're creating like an AI person. They're now banning all that too because these platforms, they barely want to pay a human being, let alone an AI generated artist.
Right.
You
Or
know,
yeah.
definitely. So you've got this record, it's called We Want Connection. Tell everybody about, the meaning behind the record. Where were you at mentally when you wrote the record?
Okay. I mean, I started to touch on it, but I had this had a huge life change, and I had a cabin up in the woods near LA that I was starting to write in, and mostly I was writing to survive my brain. If I was working on music, I felt like myself, and in every other moment I didn't. And that was the one time that even when I was so stressed and panicked and all the things, and I would work on music and hours would go by, and it was the only time that hours would go by. So at first it was like just purely that. I wasn't like, I'm gonna write a record and I'm gonna get a publicist. Hi, Jules. Um, it was just expression and survival tactics. um, and We Want Connection was kind of at the beginning of my new dating life and realizing how people are very avoidant now. Like it'd been a while for me, and I think avoidance is the default for most people. And I'm such a lead with your heart. Like, why would you ever play? I'm almost like naive, but I refuse to change, which is like, why would you ever play games with someone? If you like someone, don't you want them to bask in the light of being liked by you? Doesn't that feel good? And the answer is right now, no. It's apparently that's terrifying. Playing games makes everyone feel safer, and then they feel like they can dispose each other. And I think that it's a tragedy, and watching it happen, experiencing it myself, and just seeing how scared people are and what they're doing with that, and how lonely they are, but they keep disposing of each other. And We Want Connection was a song that came out of a direct experience like that when I was fresh and new and learning that that's how the world worked now.
Absolutely. I had just had a very similar conversation to one of my interview guests earlier today, and we were talking about like when you get into a situation, just be honest and upfront with that person of what it is you want or don't want. Are you doing it with intention or are you just playing around? But in reality is most people are never going to do that. They're never going to be completely honest and upfront with you about, hey, it's only this or I'm looking for this. It just would save a lot of heartbreak and it would save a lot of people's time from being wasted.
But I think people don't even know, because it's like what I keep seeing, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I keep seeing this pattern where people want this thing. They want love, they want the connect, they want all of it. And then it starts to happen. And then it's fine if they don't meet anyone real and they're looking for it. When they meet someone real and it's real, they start panicking and sabotaging it and discarding each other. So it's like they want it, and then when it starts to happen, they're panicking. And I don't know when it became so scary. Like we can all survive rejection. We're all standing here. I don't think we know anyone who hasn't been. So like
Yeah.
we're going to be okay, but I don't know that we can survive what we are doing, which is destroying like one of the most beautiful reasons to be on this earth, is connect that type of connection, and not the one where you like get to say your same jokes and your same stories over and over again to a new face. It's like finding depth with someone, finding mining each other for parts of yourself you didn't even know, these things that like really create something new. And I think people start to panic the minute it's not retelling the same stories and getting the reaction they can predict they're going to get, and at a surface level where they're not going to be seen. And I think being seen and seeing someone is one of the most beautiful things you can do.
I
Corny.
couldn't agree more. We want connection, and it's like, I don't know. It's like you said, I feel like people get to that certain point and then they started kind of freaking out like, "Oh my gosh, this is getting real." Okay, that should be a beautiful thing. but
Mhm.
I don't know, it just things are different, I think, now in today's generation than, like, our parents and our grandparents. It's just very it's scary almost, you know?
But it's everyone's scared, and then you're like, "If I try to have a conversation, nothing's scarier than words. Did you write me a text that was more than, 5 words? Why are you going so crazy?" You're like, everyone's I don't even know. Everyone it feels like everyone's lost the ability to, like, talk about anything or, like, go very deep, and it to me just feels tragic.
Yeah.
I might just be a lover girl. I don't know,
No,
but
I'm with you on that, and I'm like, when I decide I'm gonna go back down that road again, it's gonna be very intentional, and if somebody's not intentional in return, then I don't want it.
Mhm.
I don't want it.
Mhm.
No, thank you. Thanks, but no
Uh,
thanks.
like, go to therapy already.
That part, because the problem is a lot of people try to get involved in situations and they're not healed, and that's where it's just never gonna work.
Yeah, or, like, just be okay with not being healed. Be like, "I'm a flawed human, and it's okay." You're so scared that someone's gonna see you, and they'll figure out you're flawed, and you create a, like, trail of chaos, and it's like, none of us are ever fully healed, are we? Like, we're all and some of it's gonna be when we have those conversations and be like, "When you do that, it makes me feel like this," and, "Oh, really? 'Cause that," and, like, that's how you heal those things is
Right.
like not by yourself at a wellness retreat. Sorry,
Yeah, because
guys.
l
It's like
listen, I agree, and let's be honest, none of us will ever be as vulnerable as we were our very first time of, dating or getting involved, because once you've been through a relationship or 2, you tend to have your guard up going into the next one. You're never gonna be as vulnerable, or at least not for me. Now
Mm,
boundaries are high, it's just different.
yeah. I try to not do that, but, I'm trying to be like, someone's gotta be the brave one. Yep.
Absolutely. I know BK checked in a little bit after we started, but he asked about what genre is your music. I know you broke it down a little bit earlier, but for BK, let him know, kind of break down the genre of your music.
Okay, the long story short is it's kind of meets a lot of intersections of things, which makes it pop at the end of the day. But I call it underground pop because it kind of is inspired by dance music, hip hop, all the things, pop in the way that not I am not remotely saying I'm Prince, but like pop, not just like pop stars today, but pop like Bjork, Prince, um, artists like that are creative. I'm inspired by. I cannot say whether I am or am not in that category, but I'm inspired by that type of pop.
I love it. Definitely. You had the opportunity to perform internationally?
I'd love to.
Oh,
I probably will. I'm finishing up I have my first show on Sunday here in New York, like at a showcase for my school, just to like get my whole live show together. I mean, I played a lot, but not with Witch Cabin. This is gonna be just me by myself. So,
oh, okay, okay. So is that a part of the process that you enjoy, is doing stage performances?
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you have any visuals, like, where people maybe filmed you as you were doing a live performance, like, on your social media or YouTube that we can check out?
Not as Witch Cabin, old stuff, but we'll just keep our eyes peeled because there's in the next like year like in the new year and stuff I'm going to be starting to play out and doing a lot of stuff, releasing stuff. I have a record, like probably the full record will be out in late February, early March, and I'll be playing a lot. Once I get going, I'm going to be going.
Absolutely. Well, we've got your song. Is it okay if we listen to a little bit of it? We'll listen to like maybe half of it, because I always like to encourage people to go to the digital streaming platforms, like we were talking about, and run those streams up.
Yeah.
Is there an official music video for it yet?
Yeah, for We Want Connection, yeah.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. Follow all the things like my loves. It's free. You just follow, and that's the way that the algorithm will support artists instead of AI and instead of stupid stuff. If you want your artist to keep going, that's where the algorithms pick you up. So just follow. That's how the world works right
Absolutely.
now.
And
Instagram,
I've
Spotify,
got
all of
your
it.
Instagram scrolling across the bottom of the screen. It's Witch
Oh,
Cabin
look at
Music.
that.
Yeah, tell them where else, like, are you on TikTok? What other platforms are you active on?
TikTok, I gotta get better at. I gotta start TikToking.
Me too.
I don't want to TikTok about it. Sorry, dad pun, can't help it. Um, Spotify, Witch Cabin, all the streaming platforms, Witch Cabin, witchcabinmusic.com, and witch.cabin on TikTok. And I promise I'll be doing more. I actually have a lot of content that I have that's going to be coming out. So there you'll hear I'm getting louder. I promise.
Okay, okay, definitely. Anybody that you want to really give thanks to or give a shout out to that's been supportive of your music journey before we check out the song?
Yeah, well, Ryan Martin, you are my producer, my that I work with for vocals and production. He mixes. He's just like we kind of have a good thing going. He's a talented artist in his own right. He's like a folk singer, it's totally different genre, but we kind of have this cool thing that happens when we work together. He's actually really good with electronic music. So him, supportive of my music. My friend Pat, I have a friend Patrick who's probably one of the most supportive people. We have days where we hang out and just play synths together, and he works on his beats, I work on my stuff, and we're almost just like checking on each other's music, and like that's just been like there are those people that are just like I can see you on the stage at Coachella, like you're gonna be, and you're like they see you in places you don't even see yourself yet, so that's been a really cool music friendship. So what's up, Patrick? And my son, hi Nico, wouldn't do anything without him. And yeah.
Awesome, awesome. BK actually had another question. He said, "Have you done any collaborations with other artists?" And we're going to pose that question as Witch Cabin. Have you done any collaborations yet?
Not yet, no. And I'm super down. Actually, that's not entirely true. I did a Rock Nation workshop thing. So this song won a Rock Nation Mike Madness
Oh,
contest,
congratulations.
and
Okay.
it got like a 10/10. He thought I was AI. Chris Tyson was like, I had to double check and see if you were AI, and I said, I'm 100% human here. So I ended up going to this workshop in Atlanta as a result of that contest. Why am I telling you this?
Oh, we
What
were
did you
talking about collaborations.
Right. So we did do a collaboration there, but it was kind of just like an improv. We recorded a song there. I mean, I've worked with people a lot in the past, so like I'm super down to collaborate. I love that.
Wow, congratulations on that. And I would have to say that if someone thinks it's AI, like that's like a compliment because let's be honest, all this AI music is, in my opinion, too flawless. Like it always is like that kind of that flawless sound. So, that means your music sounds really, really, really good.
Well, I think too, like I'm not saying that auto tune doesn't get used. I'm sure I go flat and my here or there, and my producer will tighten it up. So I don't want to pretend I don't use any auto tune ever, but I don't lean into it at all. Like I kind of just go a lot more natural. So I don't know. I was surprised by that, honestly. Like I let flaws show up in my music.
I appreciate that. It's like to me, it brings out a little bit of like that human element because none of us are perfect. We're perfectly imperfect. So you have a little bit of a flaw here and there. Let it shine through because to me that draws people into that human element side of you versus thinking, oh, they're a perfectionist because none of us are.
I mean, you can't have a perfect human. I mean, you can get really close. Some people do. I'm not a trained opera singer. I'm just a girl. But you listen to like Lauryn Hill. I mean, or artists before, and I mean this is no disrespect. I mean, there was a human there. You heard her go flat. There's this she and Erica Badu, these amazing singers we revere, were flat on recordings that are going to be out there for the rest of time, and that brings me like pleasure to hear that because
Yeah.
it just shows me that there was a person there that wasn't getting corrected and micro corrected into oblivion, and that's what scares me is like younger people might not even be able to tell the difference between AI and real because even real is getting so macro corrected, and it kind
Yeah.
of feels like every beat is right on time. It's weird I chose electronic music, but I'm always trying to make human things in there. It's almost like I'm trying to make an organic thing out of a very inorganic substance, and maybe I just enjoy that tension, but I'm always trying to make it sound human.
Yes, makes perfect sense. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and get into the song if you can introduce it for us.
This is called We Want Connection by Witch Cabin.
Alrighty, y'all stay tuned for it.
Push me away, then ask me to stay. I want connection. The chemicals betray the words that you're saying. I want connection. We're smelling each other like kin. Your smooth, soft skin drawing me in. I could cry, I've known you 100 lives. It's pure perfection. By morning you've decided it's a sin. Smile and check while you express your regrets. We've lost connection. We've lost connection. Diversify your game for self-protection.
We're going to pause it right there because I want you guys to go run those streams. That is such a beautiful record. Like it's
Thank
feel
you.
good. I just feel like I can just flow with it. It's just so dope. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. And you said the official visual is out on YouTube, so you guys go run that up as well. Tell them one more time your YouTube channel so they can like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
I think it's Witch.Cabin. Jules is gonna have to correct me on this. I think it's Witch.Cabin. But if it's or Witch Cabin Music, I think if you search, you'll find me. It's the video is We Want Connection, and in it I am boxing my friend Jose. But because to me the song, I had this vision that like it feels like a boxing match. That push pull, that like an internal boxing match, a between us boxing match, like hurting people and then not wanting to. And anyway, so the video is in the ring.
That is awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much. This is our second interview, and hopefully one day we'll be able to do it in person.
Absolutely. It's so nice talking to you. What a
Yeah,
pleasure. And you too,
definitely.
BK. What's up? Thanks
Yeah,
for hanging out
BK.
with us.
BK, make sure you follow her on Instagram. I know he's active on Instagram. So, and he's such a cool, he actually flew down here from New York and interviewed with me in person at my because I'm at my home podcast studio tonight, but he came to my podcast. We had such a great interview. BK, I'm still showing my gun show. It's my gun show right here.
Yeah, thanks for
Definitely.
chilling. All right. Well, yeah, find me, BK, and whoever else. Like say
Yeah,
hello and let's talk about it.
that's right. Absolutely.